On October 7th, the Pelicans played their home court debut in the preseason. Eventually, they narrowly defeated the Magic 106-104 and got off to a good start. However, compared to the game itself, Zion's competitiveness was even more eye-catching. He only played half of the game, but in 19 minutes on the court, he made 8 of 11 shots and efficiently scored 16 points, grabbed 8 rebounds, dished out 3 assists and had 2 steals. Whether it was his individual offense or defense, and his ability to create opportunities for his teammates, he really showed the demeanor that a star player should have. After recovering from injuries and losing weight during the offseason, Zion seems to have evolved once again. So, what improvements did Zion specifically show in his on-court performance? And what will his role be in the new season? Although it was just a preseason game, Zion's debut was indeed a so-called dimensionality reduction strike. You should know that their opponent, the Magic, was also a strong defensive team with a top 3 defensive efficiency ranking in the league last season. During the game, whether it was Banchero or Wagner at the forward position, or even Wendell Carter, the center, who mainly defended Zion, they could do little to stop him. Especially, what surprised the fans was his agility and swiftness. For example, in the following off-ball play, Zion caught the ball, made a jump step to get past his opponents, and instantly slipped through the double team of 2 players. The speed shown in this move even vaguely gave people the impression of his rookie season again. The following defensive play is even more obvious. The moment Zion saw his opponent change direction, he realized that it was the perfect time for a double team and steal. So he decisively reached out to get the ball and immediately completed a turnover. His awareness and enthusiasm in this help defense were very surprising. And such a play can also show Zion's progress in his defensive will. Whether it is the choice of position in help defense or the timing of stealing the ball, it is almost perfect. Obviously, Zion made this perfect defensive response after reading his opponent's offense. However, although losing weight has improved his physical condition, in this game Zion obviously still gave people the impression of holding back, which should also be a skill that Zion has summed up after numerous injuries. In fact, fans who watched Zion's games last season should be very clear that he was almost in an energy-saving mode throughout the entire season. His explosiveness and speed on the court gave fans the feeling that he was holding back. And the game in which Zion went all out last season was the play-in game against the Lakers. But in that game, after he showed 100% of his form, the injury came right after. Therefore, in Zion's subsequent games, probably even until before the playoffs, he will most likely still play in this energy-saving way. In addition, although there is only one game and the sample is a bit insufficient, it can be seen that Zion is consciously moving closer to a floor general style of play. After losing weight, the take-off height for his layups is instead not as high as in previous seasons. And the number of violent dunk-like finishes is also decreasing. For example, in the following play, if it were the previous Zion, most likely after encountering physical contact, he would directly step up strongly and finish the play in the air after the physical confrontation. But in this play, Zion used the skills of finesse and quick release, which belong to the floor general style. He leaned on the defender with his body and weight, and then quickly made a lay-up when he saw an opportunity. In addition, in this game, Zion used the skill of driving, turning around and hooking more than once, which effectively dealt with the opponent's inside help defense. This skill was also very rare before, which is also a proof of his evolution towards a floor general style. Of course, the only problem for Zion in this game was still his shooting. All of his scores were concentrated in the 3-second area, and he didn't take any long-range shots. This was also his usual way of playing before, but such a characteristic may cause problems when facing some teams with better inside defense. In other words, although Zion can have an impact just by scoring in the paint, if he wants to lead the team further in the playoffs, shooting is still a skill that he must improve. Another point worthy of discussion in this game is the cooperation between Zion and Murray. After the game, when Zion was interviewed by the media and talked about his new teammate Murray, he said, "This is the first time in a long time that I've played with a real point guard. When playing with Murray, I have to roll down faster after setting some pick and rolls because Murray's first consideration is passing." In fact, Zion's statement is not surprising. Since Lonzo Ball was traded away, Zion has never played with a pure point guard in the true sense in his career. Most of the guards around him are offensive perimeter players like CJ. Therefore, playing with Murray is indeed a relatively novel experience for Zion. Tactically speaking, the benefits are obvious. Beside Murray, Zion can theoretically simplify his offense to the greatest extent and play more easily and efficiently. And this starts from Zion's playing characteristics. We all know that Zion is one of the leading rim attacking players in the league. Both his rim attacking volume and efficiency on the ball are top level in the league, but many people overlook his off-ball ability. Thanks to his powerful explosiveness, agile movement and near-rim finishing touch at a historical level, Zion can easily support the offensive output with off-ball rim attacking. His off-ball cut in finishing, pick and roll down rim, attacking and fast break following up are all at a top level, and precisely, these skills need a point guard's inspiration very much. After partnering with Murray, Zion can increase the number of pick and rolls and use the roll-down finish after the screen to complete the offense. Although the cooperation between the two in this game is not yet perfect, it has already taken shape to a certain extent. For example, in the following play, after Murray gained a positional advantage by using Zion's pick and roll, he didn't hold the ball at all and passed the ball on the bounce to Zion immediately. The latter caught the ball, dribbled only once, broke through the double-team defense and made a lay-up with a pull-up shot against the help defense. But maybe the two haven't been teammates for long enough and their tacit understanding is insufficient. In the first game, Zion still seemed more likely to attack the basket with the ball. However, this situation must be only temporary. After getting familiar with Murray's passing positions and rhythms, the threat of Zion and Murray's pick-and-roll offense will be further enhanced. It should also be noted that the pick-and-roll initiated by Zion and Murray can also drive the whole team's offense. Briefly speaking, since both Murray and Zion pose above-average offensive threats, especially Zion is a difficult-to-limit mismatch monster in single defense. So when the opponents find that they can't defend one-on-one, they will surely shrink their defense to protect the paint. From this point of view, when the opponents shrink the restricted area, the shooters lurking in the corners and on the wings can take advantage of Zion and Murray's ball-handling abilities to pass the ball outside and make open three-point shots. It is worth mentioning that last season, the Pelicans' three-point shooting percentage of 38.4% ranked fourth in the league. In addition, apart from the conventional pick-and-roll methods, the Pelicans can also play the reverse pick-and-roll of Zion and Murray, switching the opponent's point guards to defend Zion to create a mismatch, which may also be a tactic they will use. Moreover, compared with other teams, the Pelicans' pick-and-roll has another advantage. They can set up a full shooter lineup around Zion and Murray. In this lineup, the Pelicans' overall offense will be extremely threatening. Therefore, compared with the past ball-handling playing styles, increasing the proportion of off-ball plays in the new season may be a more reasonable choice for Zion. The above is the analysis of Zion's debut. Next, let's talk about his positioning in the new season. During the past offseason, the Pelicans changed the direction of their team lineup. They let go of Valanciunas and Nance, two interior players, gave up the traditional big man lineup, and instead chose a more trendy small ball lineup. As a result, currently there is only Theis, a relatively well-known interior player in the team. Moreover, the 203-centimeter tall German is not a traditional center. Therefore, many people speculate that in the new season, the Pelicans will put Zion at the 5 position and use the small ball lineup as the regular lineup. But recently, Willie Green, the Pelicans head coach, gave an answer in an interview. Zion is not a 5-position player, and the team will try to blur the specific positions. In the game against the Magic, Zion also started as the power forward, partnering with Theis. There are mainly the following reasons for such an arrangement. First of all, although the team has 2 top-notch defenders, Herbert Jones and Murphy, at the forward position, letting Zion, who is not good at protecting the rim, directly play as the center means that the team's interior defense and rebounding protection will become potential problems, and the team's lineup will also be somewhat top-heavy. As a defensive-minded coach, Green doesn't want this to happen. In addition, Zion's potential glass-like nature is no secret. After the team introduced the genuine point guard Murray, it is natural to maximize Zion's offensive potential and establish a stable offensive system with him as the core. If Zion is made to try the 5 position, it will not only increase the defensive burden but also increase the risk of injury. Furthermore, the purpose of the Pelicans reducing the lineup height is to speed up the tempo. Compared with slow-paced half-court offense, making more use of transition offense is undoubtedly more suitable for the current playing style of this team. At present, it is more ideal for Theis to occupy the center position. Although he lacks height, his high mobility can make the Pelicans' defensive system more compact, especially in terms of switching defense, which was the most common problem when using the big center Valanciunas in the past. So in this Pelicans team, we may occasionally see some shadows of the German men's basketball team. In addition, Theis has a certain ability to space the floor. Besides him, Murray, CJ and Jones in the starting lineup all have a good level of catch and shoot. So on the offensive end, Zion's face-up driving threat will be further magnified compared with previous seasons. Once the opponents help defend, his ability to drive and pass will be shown again. Therefore, it is a very practical choice to let Zion continue to play the power forward position. The only difference is that when Tyus is off the court, Zion will take on part of the rotation time at the center position for the Pelicans. In the game against the Magic, Yves Missi, the 21st pick in this year, was Tyus' main substitute. Although his performance was remarkable, it is still unknown whether this rookie can support the team's interior rotation in the regular season. In other words, the Pelicans' small ball lineup will still appear at some times. But the lack of interior depth is obviously not a long-term solution. The Thunder's struggle against the Mavericks in the playoffs last season is a lesson from the past. Therefore, the Pelicans will most likely explore the plan to strengthen the center position while the season starts. According to the current trade rumors, players like Robert Williams and Capella are all possible options. It is worth mentioning that after the Pelicans clearly made Zion the core of team building, Ingram's situation seems extremely awkward. Although he returned to the training camp in time, he was absent from the first preseason game for non-injury reasons, which inevitably led to people's speculation. At least for now, Ingram will still be the primary bargaining chip in the Pelicans' trade negotiations. Undeniably, Zion's full strength return is really a pleasant surprise, and this Pelicans team will also be one of the strong contenders for the Western Conference playoff seats. Besides Zion, the other two protagonists during the offseason, Simmons and Lonzo Ball, may also appear one after another in the follow-up. So, what kind of performances do you think these two can deliver?